Zimbabwe has elected. The ZANU-PF has won the election by securing 52.6 vote of the total votes. Hello, I'm Mahlet Ayele, your host at Connect Africa. Now, let's go and break down this election in Zimbabwe, and allow me to share this slide with you. So the neck-to-neck contest in this Zimbabwe election of 2023 was between these two men, or between these two parties, the Emmerson Mnangawa of ZANU-PF and then the Nelson Chamisa of Citizen Coalition for Change. While Emmerson Mnangawa of ZANU-PF has secured 52.6 of the total votes, Nelson Chamisa of the CCC, or the Triple C rather known as, has secured 44%. So Emerson Mnangawa has secured another second term in the office to lead Zimbabwe for another 5 years. Now, just to give you a bit of background, who are these people? So Emmerson Mnangawa, he has been serving in ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF is, by the way, it's an abbreviation for Zimbabwe African National Union Patriotic Front, which has been a ruling party of Zimbabwe since independence, since 1980. But the formation of the party itself dates back to 1976, and to in some cases to 1960s. It has been there for decades. It was a ruling party in which Robert Mugabe has been leading the country. And actually, Emmerson Mnangawa has served as a prime minister during Mugabe's leadership in the country up until the coup happened, and where he took over the power. So Emmerson Mnangawa has been president of Zimbabwe since 2017. So after 5 years, another election happened. So he has secured the second term. So this is supposed to be actually the last term. So according to the constitution, I don't think he's allowed to go for another term. But of course, ZANU-PF can stay forever. We will see if any other party come as a ruling party of Zimbabwe. Now, who is Nelson Chamisa of the CCC, or Citizen Coalition for Change? He was leading the DMC, I think it was DMC before, and he was a contestant as well in the 2017 election, but again he has lost. Again, after 5 years, he formed another new party called Citizen Coalition for Change by quitting from DMC. And then this new party was actually established in 2022. 2022. Yeah, so he's a 45 years old, a young contestant at the time of the 2017 election. But whereas if you see Emmerson Mnangawa, he's 80 years old. As I told you, he has been serving, he has been in politics for a long time, and he was a prime minister during also Mugabe's leadership. Now, the other thing that what we need to, this is so far what we have, okay? Now, Emmerson Mnangawa has won the election and he has secured the second term. So what are the news and the reports that are coming from now around the world, okay? Zimbabwe is a special country. It is in the southern part of Africa. It's a member of SADC. But most importantly, what we have to know is Zimbabwe has been under sanction for the past 2 decades, since 2003, a sanction imposed by the United States in the name of human rights abuse, corruption, and democracy. But we all know when those reasons comes as a pretense, for the U.S. sanction. Now, currently, these are the news since last night that are coming from. If you see, for example, this is Reuters saying Zimbabwe's president declared election winner. Opposition rejects the result. Yes, the opposition has rejected the result, but it doesn't mean that their reasoning for the rejection of the result is right, but it's something time will tell what they are going to. But for now, many commentators and analysts are saying there is nothing going to change the result for now. Let's see Al Jazeera, how it is it's running its headline. Zimbabwe's President Mnangawa wins second term, opposition rejects result. But Al Jazeera also, it has another funny headlines that it went away with. Suffering is continuing. Look at them where they are coming from. Okay, just pay attention. Don't be the victim of the international or the so-called the international media or the mainstream media. You have to really look at what is reported in the local news and then also what is the international media focusing on. And you have to do your own analysis. By now, you have to be awake and know how the system is working. So Al Jazeera ran with this headline, suffering is continuing. So that means after Mnangawa secured or ZANU-PF secured another term as a ruling party in the country, the suffering will continue. But who really is making the suffering in the country or to Zimbabweans, to the citizen of Zimbabwe? Isn't it the sanction? Why don't you lift the sanction? Isn't it the US and the so-called international community using this sanction as a weapon to control nations, as we have seen in many other a number of countries? It's an ongoing thing. Now, this is an interesting comment from the EU. By the way, there were observers from the European Union, from the SADC, the regional organization, which is an organ of the African Union organization as well. Also, the African Union has sent its observers there. And the EU was there. So this is the thing they came out with. The head of the European Union's observer mission on Friday said the vote took place, in quotation, in a climate of fear. But you will see that. Go and search, do your own research. The South African broadcast services, SABC, has been there on the street, and they were interviewing people. They were saying, it's true that the 2017 election was a very violent one, but comparatively, this has been a much more peaceful election in the country. As a matter of fact, no violent incident has been reported so far in Zimbabwe. Okay, but this is what they are just pushing, unless they bring you their puppet in their silent coup, to use the phrase of Her Excellency Madam Chiombori Kwawo or Dr. Arikana. It is a silent coup. They say it's election democracy, but what they do is they make sure that they bring a person or a leader of a country that goes with that will obey what the collective West tells the leader. So if that is not happening, then they come up with their headline accusing and calling the election that it's not democratic, the election was not fair, all those kinds of headlines you might see. Now, why I want you to check, this man Rutendo Matanyarare, but he's very known on his social media, and he is a man actually who fought really in the front, who fought the sanction in Zimbabwe for the past 2 decades. And he say he has given a very good analysis. He has his own website. So why it is impossible for ZANU-PF to rig election in Zimbabwe. So he gives you a very good analysis and how the election has been conducted, and the observers, even some of them, they have their own secret service that has been watching. So there is no way, so according to his analysis, that the opposition now comes and tell us it is not a fair election. So go and check this. I just put a headline for you. Now, just to give you a background of Zimbabwe, Zimbabwe has been under sanction since 2003. So one good, a commendable action that we have seen from the African Union is last year into 2022, the chairman or the African Union Commission came out and actually condemned the sanction against Zimbabwe, and then requested the international community to lift the sanction, and also supported they said openly in their letter that they give their brotherly support to the people of Zimbabwe. Now, actually, the sanction in Zimbabwe is gaining more and more attention, and they are taking it to court as well. So this man, Rutendo Matanyarare, plays really a great role in leading that fight, and also all Zimbabweans, actually. So I just wanted to share with you in why Zimbabwe, in what situation Zimbabwe is really going through. So in any case, Zimbabwe has elected. So Emmerson Mnangawa will be another 5 years leading the country. ZANU-PF again since 1980, since independence, they have been ruling the country. So it again has now secured another 5 more years. So the people of Zimbabwe, the citizens, have spoken, even if it was not a much big difference. They secured 52.6 of a total vote, and then he will be Mnangawa will be again the president of Zimbabwe for another 5 years. So I just wanted you, as I always do, want to leave you with a question, with my own opinion. First of all, please let us know what you think about the election result in Zimbabwe, and please comment below about that. Now, the second thing I want to share is that I think we African people more and more be concerned and conscious when we go and vote, give our votes, that the leader, who is that leader, beyond really his serving to the people of that specific country or the national interest, we need to ask as well, is he or is she Pan-African? What are they going to do to Africa? That should be also our requirement in order to give our votes. And I think it's easier, it's logical for us, to make it easier, that African unity. If we don't have Pan-African leader of each and individual sovereign state of the member states in the continent, then it makes it really hard, the process of the African unity, because as it stands now, the power lies within the individual states. AU really don't have the power. The power is upon the heads of states. So if we give our votes to those heads of states who are, beyond serving the national interest, who are also serving the African interest, who are working for the unity of Africa, then I think that will make it easier to really have that united Africa sooner than what we think. Let me know about my opinion, what you think, and then so we might take the discussion further. For now, that was it. So until next time, bye-bye. We have a live streaming later on, so tune in. Please subscribe, like, and share our video. So thank you very much. Bye-bye.